Okay, let's look at some ways to describe a histogram. So, if the bars are roughly the same height, the histogram is uniform. So here, they're all about the same height, If a vertical line can divide the histogram into two parts that are close to mirror images, then the histogram is symmetric. So if I just straight down the middle, they look the same, almost really close to the same on both sides. We call it symmetric. And if the histogram has a peak that is not in the center, then the histogram is skewed. So here, this is not centered. This is more the center, and this is over. So this is called skewed. All right. So let's take a look at A. It says, is problem 3, excuse me. Is each histogram uniform, symmetric, or skewed? So here it says this histogram is symmetric because the halves are close to mirror images. So if I break down the middle, it looks like they're the same on both sides. Here, this one is skewed because the peak is not in the center. So here's the peak over here, and so we say that it's skewed. All right, let's take a look at the guide. It says the following set of data shows the number of dollars Jay spent on lunch over the last 2 weeks. Make a histogram of the data. Is the histogram uniform, symmetric, or skewed? Okay, so I see that my lowest number is 1 and my highest number is 17. So it's about 18 different points that I can have, and so let's divide it into 3. Okay, so we'll say every 3. So we'll say 1, 2, 2. No, I'm sorry. 3, 4, 2, 6, 7, 2, 9, 10 to 12, 13 to 15, 17, I'm sorry, not 17, 16 to 18. There, nice and even. Alright, so and I think this was the dollars. Oops. Let me see if I can move this back up. Okay. So yeah, so this is dollars, and then this is the frequency. Alright. So $1 to $3. Let's see. One time. Not good, Jay. 4 to, I'm sorry, 4 to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 to 9. 1, 2. 2 to 12. I mean 10 to 12. Excuse me. 1, 2. 13 to 15. 1, 2, 3. And 16 to 18. 1, 2. Okay. All right. So let's see. We will make our table now. And I'm only going over so far just to make sure I have enough space. So we'll say 1 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, 10 to 12, 13 to 15, 16 to 18. And so our frequency will be 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and so this was the dollar, our money Jay spent on lunch. And this is the frequency. We always have to label our table, right? So 1 to 3, was 1. 4 to 6 was 4. Remember, it's connected. 7 to 9 was at 2. 10 to 12 was at 2. 13 to 15 was at 3. And 16 to 18 was at 2. So what does that look like to you? Definitely not symmetric. Not uniform either. I'm going to have to say it's skewed because my highest peak is not in the center. Yeah, I would have to say it's skewed. Definitely skewed. Well, it's kind of all over the place, isn't it? It's definitely not symmetric and it's definitely not uniform. So I'm going to stick with skewed. And remember, your graph might look different from mine because you chose a different interval. So I hope this helps.